From the 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Estate, a very good morning. Welcome to the 11th of May 2026 edition of the Mega News Live and direct from our studios on MBN TV. We also live across our social media handles on MBN 360. My name is El Samuels. The headlines. President Mahama Uveils 3Bn Green City Housing Project in the Shah region, describing it as a major step towards solving Ghana's housing deficit. The fund will operate as a revolving scheme where repayment from beneficiaries are reinvested into the construction of additional housing units over time. Under the program, state housing agencies, including the State Housing Company and the Timber Development Corporation, will receive support to build affordable houses, whilst commercial banks are expected to provide mortgage financing for workers. Repayment periods are projected to range between 15 and 20 years, making home ownership more accessible to public sector employees. A key feature of the policy is that all housing units and mortgage agreements will be priced in Ghana cedis, a move the president says will shield workers from exchange rate volatility. Government says the initiative is part of broader efforts to improve living conditions and boost productivity within the public sector. The housing fund is expected to roll out in phases, with the construction of new housing units set to begin in the selected regions in the coming months. The Vice President Nana Akufo-Addo has paid gloomy tribute to mothers across the country in celebration of Mother's Day. Marking Mother's Day's celebration, Professor Akufo-Addo has described mothers as the backbone of society, praising their critical role in nurturing families, sustaining communities. In her message, she highlighted the resilience, love, and dedication of mothers, noting that their contribution often go unrecognized despite being essential to national development. She called for greater appreciation and support for mothers, emphasizing the need to create opportunities that empowers women and improve family welfare. Her tribute adds to the nationwide celebration honoring mothers for their unwavering commitment and impact on society. The opposition New Patriotic Party, the NPP, says it has completed the restructuring of its internal organs ahead of upcoming internal electoral exercise. The party executive says the move is aimed at strengthening organization at all levels as it prepares for key leadership and grassroots elections. According to the party officials, the restructuring process covered constituency, regional and national levels, with emphasis on improving coordination and electoral readiness. The party says the exercise is part of a broader effort to reposition itself and ensure smooth internal elections in line with its constitution. Officials added that the completed structures will help streamline communication, enhance mobilization, and strengthen party unity as it heads into a critical political period. The internal elections are expected to determine key leadership positions, including constituency executives, regional officers, who will play a major role in shaping the party's direction going forward. The party is expected to officially announce dates for the internal election in the coming weeks as intensified preparation ahead of its broader political agenda. The restructuring comes at a time political parties are strengthening internal systems in preparation for future electoral contests and national mobilization efforts. On a business desk this morning, the Ghana Publishing Company has recorded a profit of 16.95 million cedis for the latest financial year, marking a significant turnaround in its operation and financial performance. The state-owned enterprise, the Ghana Publishing Company Limited, says the profit was driven by improved efficiency, cost management, and increased demand for its printing and publishing services. Management attributes the positive results to reforms introduced over the period, including tighter financial controls, expanded commercial operations. The company, which is responsible for official government publications, says it is also modernizing its production system to enhance productivity and competitiveness
competitiveness in the publishing sector. Officials believe the performance reflects a broader effort to make state-owned enterprises more self-sustaining and less dependent on government support. The company says it plans to reinvest part of the profit into upgrading equipment, expanding its services to meet growing demand from both public and private sector clients.
From the business desk, let's do some international story. In South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa is facing a growing political pressure following a recent court ruling that has triggered calls from some opposition groups for him to resign.
The development follows a court decision that has intensified scrutiny over matters linked to governance and political accountability within the presidency. Opposition parties and political commentators argue that the ruling raises questions about leadership responsibility and ethical standard at the highest level of government. Whilst presidency has not indicated any intention of resignation, it says it respects the independence of the judiciary and is studying the full implication of the court's decision. Supporters of the president, however, maintain that he should be allowed to continue in office, insisting that legal processes must be fully exhausted before any political conclusions are drawn. The situation has sparked renewed political debate in South Africa, with analysts warning of a potential implication for stability within the governing structure if tensions escalate. The presidency is expected to issue a more detailed response in the coming days as pressure mounts from both political and civil society actors. The unfolding political debate adds to the growing scrutiny of leadership accountability in South Africa as the nation navigates a sensitive legal and political moment.
And that's it for this morning's Mega News at 6, live and direct from our studios. But before we take leave of you, a recap of the headlines.
President Mahama Uveils a 3 billion housing fund for public sector workers. In business, Ghana Publishing Company records 16.959 million Ghana cedis profits. On the international front, South African president faces call to resign after court ruling.
For more news, log on to MBN 360. My name is L. Samuels. We'll be back. Coming up is sports updates. Good morning.